Wow, this is crazy.
We're learning.
You got like 5 things going. I love it. That's awesome. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Podcast episode 2 with Anthony and Marcos once again, aka Taco. We got a couple things we want to talk about for today's episode. And if you guys haven't checked out the video I dropped yesterday, make sure you check that out. But I guess the direction we're gonna go with this, it's just crazy because I got 3 phones, 1 laptop. I'm a little thrown off. But we want to start with like goal setting and how important it is to set goals for yourself and set goals for just really anything you do in your life. I mean, whether that is just doing the dishes, taking the trash out, just something very simple like that. You know, you always want to know what your direction is going to be for that day. Now, you know, waking up, you should always have, you know, some sort of idea of what you're going to be doing for the day, because a lot of people, you know, they wake up, jump on their phone, and that's a good and a bad thing. I mean, yeah, you're going to keep up with family, friends, or whatever, social media, but you need to wake up and have a purpose for your day. It shouldn't be waking up, jumping on your phone, and scrolling through who's doing what. You got to focus on yourself. Make yourself priority. And I mean, I think we all run into those. Oh yeah. Right. That I guess boundary with the phone. But I mean, what is it that you guys do for, I guess, a daily grind or whatnot to set goals, or how do you guys go about doing that?
Want to go first, one?
Yeah. Personally, like, I know that some people have people who hold you accountable, like we spoke about last time.
Yeah.
It's like when you build a routine to hit somebody up in the morning, and like you know they're awake, they let you know they're awake.
And that's kind of what we do too, right?
That's what we do, man, for sure. So like whenever you get on your phone, like automatically you need to hit them up to be like, hey, I woke up first, you know. So
wakey,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
that helps.
So that helps out because now you got to text them instead of like faking being asleep, you know.
Yeah.
So now that you let them know that you're awake, you just got to be like, okay, how long do you need to get ready? And then now you're like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and now you're forced to actually get up off the bed.
And especially if like you have like a purpose, like for us, like going to the gym or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
just that something that simple where it's like, you know, are you ready to go? No, man, I'm just getting up. We'll get up and get ready. You know, so we got to grind. And I know we've talked about it, you know, before, but what is it that, you know, your idea of goal setting and how important is that to you?
Yeah, I think for me, just when it comes to the phone, just, you know, going back to the phone, it does get in the way. Like, I'm not perfect. I don't think none of us are perfect, but sure, we can at least talk about it and be transparent about it. Yeah. And I think for me, I put a lot of thought into it, where it's like, do I really need to go on Snapchat and see all the stories, or do I really need to go on IG and see all the stories? So it's kind of like using, like you were saying, use it as a tool versus letting it get in the way.
Consume yourself,
exactly, right?
Yeah. But I think again too, like I think that's just this century, or the new generations. Like we're just so consumed with our cell phone and so consumed with social media that, I mean, it's great because we have platforms like this that we can like talk to you guys about, talk to ourselves, or communicate. But it can become a dangerous thing almost.
Yeah, it really can.
And that's where it consumes time. And there was some research that I read into. It was saying that an average American spends about 3 hours on their cell phone each day, which I think to me that's kind of crazy, because you think about it, how long you're up throughout the day, how long you're sleeping, and all that stuff is just, it's kind of mind blowing in a sense. But
I feel like that time can go toward your goal.
Right.
And it kind of shows like yourself and like, how important is your goal to you?
Yeah.
If it's that important, like for me, I love to dance, right? I love dancing. That's my goal, to be a professional dancer and eventually have my own dance studio. That's my goal. Yeah. And if I'm busy on my phone doing nothing, just looking at stories and like funny videos, which is good to have that downtime.
Yeah, right.
But if it's consuming my day and getting in the way of my dream, something has to give. Either I give up on my dream, or I give up on this bad habit of being on my phone when I don't really need to. So
a thumb warrior.
Exactly, right?
Thumb warrior.
I mean, I was even thinking like getting rid of one of them, like Snapchat.
You know what, dude? And that's like where I found myself, like, and I really kind of just dove into like who I was, is the times when I actually cut social media out of my life. I don't know if I told you guys about that, or I've made a couple previous videos about it, but like that was the best time of my life because I didn't have that worry. I didn't have that like that blockage in my life where I'm like, okay, who's doing this or who's doing that, and let me comment, let me get a like. And so I got so consumed with that idea of like like a personal gain or almost kind of like a selfish thing where you're just like, oh my gosh, this guy liked my post, this and this. But if it's Bradley Martin, it's still cool if he likes my post. But no, I'm just being serious. Like it was a time in my life where I was just so consumed by likes, comments, and I think that's how a lot of people are now. You know, in the modern day, is you're just, you know, who liked my post? How many likes did I get on this? Should I get rid of this post because of that? And that could be my OCD nature, but it's like, I want people to understand that life is not about likes. Life is not about subscribers and comments and this, and I just spit. Like all this, like all these things that just don't matter. Like I think what matters the most is when you have good quality friends, good quality people in your life, you know, people who are going to care about you. And for like you guys, like what I see, you know, on social media, of course, but I see, you know, that your guys' studio popping up and you have all these people who are supporting you, man. And I think it's just great, you know, to have, you know, that's when you know who your true friends are. Like you guys, you're my true friends, and I can hit you up and we can do stuff like this and just talk, you know. So,
for sure, man. So it kind of goes back to just not abusing, you know, all these new generation apps that you can say, and just using it as a platform, you know, even because without the apps right now, or without Facebook, without IG, we can't even do this and talk about it. But
interact with people.
Kind of going back to what you were saying at the gym, man, just like not letting it consume you, but using it as a tool, and that's totally fine.
Right.
Especially when it's geared toward, this is like something you want to do for like podcasts, for nutrition,
for like a living, like you want to help impact,
and that's okay. But I mean,
and especially for you too, you know, you guys, so you post the you know, you have your fitness page where you're posting your journey, and then you have the dance. I mean, you do the same thing, but you have the dance and you're posting these choreographies, right? That's how you say it, choreographies, and you know, it's cool to follow your journey, you know, and you post fitness too, and I think that's why the platforms are so great. Like you can build your brand, build who you are on it,
inspire others, right?
And have the world inspire.
Yeah, like you said, you know, if you get one person to like be inspired, you did your job. And that's the same thing for us, you know, for anyone, you know, if you can inspire somebody, one person, like I had practice last night, you know, at the jukebox. Shout out to jukebox, and there was this guy. He's a real funny guy. But he's like, I see your videos, you know, you're lifting, you know, and you're getting bigger. And like he said, you know, you make me want to lift.
Oh,
you know?
dude, that's, hey man, that's perfect. I love hearing that.
Yeah, honestly. So that just got me fired up. And like you said, it's all using this platform to inspire others and to keep each other accountable.
Yeah, and that's what happens is when we do get too caught up in, you know, these posts, or we get caught up in trying to get what likes and stuff like that, then it's for the wrong purpose. But what we really talk about is, if I get 200 views on a video, it's not about 200 views. I could get 50 views, I can get 20 views. But if I even get just one view and that one person who watched that video is impacted, then dude, my job is done. You know? So it's like, okay, now if I have a platform where I can, you know, help hundreds of people, even if it's just one little thing where they hear me say like, just go do it, and they just start and go do it and just become great at it. Like to me, I've won, you know, and it's not about winning. It's like, I want to inspire, dude.
That's good, bro. That's a good part.
I mean, what do you think about that too, man?
I mean, like when it comes back to like goal setting and like what can stop you, like it's that alone an obstacle sometimes on social media. I used to tell Anthony, like, if I beat like a video game on like the hardest difficulty, why is that gonna matter 5 years from now? You know what I mean? And if I get like only 10 likes or like 100 likes on a picture or a video, like how much is that gonna matter 5 years from now?
Exactly.
And then is that towards your goal? And are you affecting the right people? You know what I mean? Like I know Anthony reaches out to dancers, and then now he's starting to reach out to people who actually want to start working on their body and fitness and then reach their goals. You know what I mean? So I know like you have your motivation videos and stuff like that. And I think that alone, like you're building to inspire more and more. People are gonna know your name out. You're doing podcasts now, and you're doing exactly what you want to do because you have a life to live. You know what I mean? And then with that goal setting, you're living the life you want to live because you're acting on those goals. You know what I mean? So I think,
man, this is like a therapy session. I know. I'm just like, damn, like this is some deep stuff.
That's why I like to bring it apart, man. I like to bring it apart, like what are we doing and what are we doing to stop it, and then like how are we doing to fix what's stopping it.
Right. No, that makes sense, dude. And I mean, I'm all for it, and I'm all for like continuously inspiring and impacting people. And there's something I was going to jump on when you were saying that, but I think we all have the opportunity to do great things and become great in our lives. And speaking of, that's where I was going to ask, you guys, we've kind of talked about it back and forth, but what do you guys think, can anyone become great, or does everyone have the opportunity to do something great? Whether that's trying to figure out what they want to do in their life and then go after it, and what's that percentage if they're going to fall, are they going to get back up? What do you go for?
I think when it comes to that, like, it's sometimes the dirty truth that people don't want to hear.
Yeah.
And that, but there's still a truth to it that they want to hear, and that everybody has a calling.
Yeah.
I truly believe everybody has a calling, and they may think like, I want to be an MMA fighter, and that's literally what they really want to do. But I promise you, like, if that's not it, you're gonna find something you love more.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you may think you love something, but there actually is something else out there that you actually might love even more than that. I thought I was so like in love with dance, and dance is my biggest industry, man.
Great.
Like, I wanted to be part of the dance industry so much, and then I found something I love more than that.
Dude, I love that. And I'm gonna jump right in there before I forget, like last time. For me, it's like, again, like, people who know me, know my past, know what I've done, like bodybuilding, right? That was something I was just so like die hard wanting to do, invested, like my time was going there. Everything was just live, breathe, eat bodybuilding. And I love bodybuilding, so that's where it's got me to where I'm at in life now, and where it's continuously going to push me in the future. But I was so consumed by this one thing that everything else in my life didn't matter, and there was a time where I was just kind of like blocking people out because I just wanted this one thing, and I only wanted it for myself. But there are times like, you have to go for yourself, and you have to want things, but you got to help other people along in the journey. If they're like, hey, could you help me out? Like, I was just like, nah, man, like I'm working on me. But I feel like those are the times where, like, you're getting tested. You're getting tested to see if you're truly, like, I guess, a passionate or a positive person for like what you want to do. So, man, like, my brain's just going crazy. So I was trying to figure out what I was gonna say with that. But yeah, man, like, just no matter what your dream is, sometimes, like, The Rock actually said in one of his Instagram posts, like, the thing he wanted to do the most actually never happened. Like, his dream of playing the NFL, it just never happened. But look where look at Dwayne Johnson, like, where he's at now, So it's the same thing for me. Like, I couldn't, like, not that I couldn't, because I never can say I can't do something, but the path that I'm led on now is greater than the path I was on before. So it's like, now I'm chasing to do the impossible and to do things that people, say they could never do. But it's like, I think everyone still, they have greatness in them for sure.
I think for me, it was wrestling. I was a wrestler. I love sports, like, to death, and I'm always watching, like, the series and the NBA series, or like the NFL. I love it, and I come from that background. My older brother was in football, and I just kind of came up in sports. But I follow that with a passion, and anything that I do, I want to make sure I do it 100%. And so I did wrestling, in middle school.
That was just something that caught your attention?
I was playing football. And as I was playing football,
what position?
Running back, not corner, safety. Yeah. So I was playing football, and I think it was the assistant principal at my school. He was from the Navy, and he called me over. He's like, Cordova, get over here. And I thought I was in trouble.
Scorpion, get over here.
And I was like, okay, here I come. And he's like, you should do wrestling. He's like, you should do wrestling. And next thing you know, I'm doing wrestling. I didn't know nothing about it, but I loved it. I just fell in love with it, and I pursued it, and it was so fun. And after doing sports for some time, I built relationships with coaches, and it was great, And like, it was one of those things where it's like, they know you for this. And it was my passion for sure. But my passion and my dream, the season of wrestling was over for some reason, right? It's like finding another dream that you have, and dancing came. And then when dancing came, it changed my whole life, you know. And I started pursuing dancing, and so it changes, you know. It changes, and you don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know the future, but all we can do is take one day at a time and just follow our heart, you know, whatever we're feeling. And I felt dancing, and with that being said, you know, I know our stuff has changed, you know, in the past.
And it's changing every day.
It is
too, like
it
in
really
a
is.
certain degree or certain direction.
Like one thing for me though is when I started dancing, a lot of people didn't understand. Like there was a lot of people were confused, you know, because if you're really good at something and you stop doing it to pursue something else to become great at that, you know, becoming great, people don't understand sometimes what that means to you, you know. So it kind of depends on can anyone be great? It kind of depends on like what do you mean by great, you know? Because for me, pursuing dancing is great, you know, but to somebody else it can mean like the opposite. And I remember like when I made that switch, I lost a lot of friends. You know, I'll be honest, I lost a lot of friends.
But you gained the people who you were supposed to be around.
So at first it can be hard. Basically, it can be really difficult, and people may not understand. But maybe you understand more than anything else. But I kept going. Like I could have quit. I could have went back to wrestling because that's what everyone else wanted me to do. But I was trying to do something that I wanted to do, you know, and what I felt was right. And so I pursued it. I lost a lot of friends. The coaches looked at me a little differently, you know, and I understand. I understand. But I kept going, and I became great at dancing. And now I lost a lot of friends, but I gained a lot of new ones, you know. And it's just one of those seasons where if you're trying to do something in your life, it's going to be really, really hard, especially if you make a switch. But you just can't give up, you know. You want to become great, you do whatever is possible. From if you lose friends, you don't let that stop you. If you have social media in a way, you move that to the side. Pursue you know, like relentlessly your dream, your goal, whatever it may be.
That's insane. Like that's so cool that the way the world works, really. I mean, again, moving from one direction to another, you know, you could have one set of friends, and then all of a sudden, you know, that crowd is just, that's not your area anymore, that's not your niche or whatever you call it, and all of a sudden you just gain some greater people, some more people who can actually relate to what you're doing. So I don't want to move this trail in like a crazy other direction, but like this would come down to like priorities. You know, like finding what's most important in your life, or finding what's that thing you want to chase. And I think, again, not to beat a dead horse, but it's like you need to find early. It doesn't matter your age, doesn't matter where you're at right now in your life, doesn't matter if, you know, you're just like, I'm 50, this is me just exaggerating, but like I'm 50 years old, how can I do this? You know, I don't really have the upper hand anymore. You still have the upper hand no matter what. There was one thing, actually it was my fiance, she told me, she's like, I forget what it was, but there was a person who, how do I say it? There's a person who has their master's degree, they got a couple kids, and they're working obviously a full-time job, and they're still able to work out. Like, to me, I'm like, whoa. Like, what is it that I'm doing in my life? Like, you know, I get up at a little later time, and it's just like, what's my excuse? You know, what's my excuse to get up, to get grinding, to get working? I love reading. That's a new thing that I've really picked up. I don't know if a lot of people can say that, but like, I love reading. I enjoy like learning now. You know, I enjoy learning, and it's like, if I'm getting up later or I'm sleeping in or whatever the case is, like I'm losing out on my day. I'm losing out on life, you know, because life is technically in hours. And, you know, I just think that we all in a sense, again, we're not all perfect, but we have our priorities a little wrong sometimes. And fixing that, at least for myself, it's just, I'm still in the works. I think we all are still in the works still. But prioritizing is a very big thing. And again, this is going back to the very beginning. But how do you guys really manage prioritizing your time? I know we're working on it, but like, how are you prioritizing your time?
Just being organized. Being organized in a sense of like using your resources. You know, we go back to the phone. Like with the phone, there's so much that you can do with the phone. I have notes, so I'll go on notes and I'll prioritize.
Do you do it on your phone, or do you're actually writing it down?
I do it on my phone. Okay. I don't really have a notebook or pen. I I mean, if you're still in school, you have that stuff, which is good. But
Yeah.
For me, I have it on my phone.
Saving trees, man.
Saving trees.
Good save.
But I'll write it on my phone, and I'll just look at it every single day.
Yeah.
Whatever I have to do, from making choreography to advertising for the studio to spending time with family. Because I'm the leader of United and Exiles.
You want to tell them what that is?
Yeah, United Dance Company is our dance team, and we compete around the U.S. and we're getting ready for a competition in Vegas next week. And so we have a lot of responsibilities, or at least I do, and I need to make sure that I am organized with even the schedule of practice. We have to make sure that we're getting done with this dance by this time. So there's a lot of things, and every single day that I have is something different. So in those days, I have to make sure that I'm ready and that I'm organized. So for me, the way I do it is before I go to sleep, I'll grab my phone or whatever you want to write down, your notes on. I'll be like, all right, when I wake up, this is what I have to do. These are my to-do lists. These are the things that I have to make sure I get accomplished. And if I see it unchecked, then I have a problem. I have to make sure before I go to sleep that it's done no matter what. So that's how I do it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, is there a way you kind of do it too, or?
I think like where I am at is because of where I grew from.
I think we all are from.
But like when it comes to priorities, man, I remember back in the day, like after a year of lifting, I started to see results, and I used to tell myself some silly things, like, you know what, I need to stop eating this, I need to stop eating that, I need to stop eating this. And it was always hard to do because, people have tried it, people have tried dieting, and they just can't come through with it. But I think what really helped me out a lot was meal prepping. I think that actually helped me out a lot, because when you can say no to pizza, when you can say no to like tacos and enchiladas, and you're just like, taco, right? When you can say no to Mexican food, you start to be able to say yes to a lot of things easier. You have a lot more self-control. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you have your priorities, it's like, okay, so I don't really want to look like this. I really want to have aesthetic physique. I want to be able to do these things. But what's stopping me? And I was like, my nutrition. And then what did I do to fix it? And then starting to meal prep really focused on discipline. And discipline I did not have. You know what I mean? And then being able to find the 6 hours throughout the whole week, hopefully morph it into one day, and then meal prep my breakfast, and then meal prep my lunch and dinner, and then doing that alone, be able to have that as priority, nutrition, makes lifting a lot easier.
I think it makes life too a lot easier, right?
To an extent.
To an extent.
And then whenever I eat out, it's probably to celebrate the Super Bowl. I'll go ham on some chips.
Well, again, that brings it back to how we're all not perfect, and we all need some. There's always going to be some sort of catch to somebody,
Yeah.
And like you're saying, meal prepping is. I remember those. Now, so I do more flexible dieting, but before when I was prepping just like that, it's just solid discipline, dude.
It is.
If you can, again, like you were saying, if you can say no to just basic things, sugar, pizza, just crappy food, chocolate. If you can, even I remember one year, for Thanksgiving, I ate my meal prep. I had beef, green beans, and rice. Everyone was eating their normal food, and it's just you got to know that, yes, these holidays are there for family to enjoy. But again, these holidays are there for family, right? So that's why, I'm okay, it's not about eating. Again, it's not about, the pumpkin pie. It's not about the turkey. It's not about this. It's not about that. Again, you can do that if you do it in moderation. Some people are like, oh, you should still enjoy yourself. I understand that, but it's there's a point where you should enjoy yourself, and there's a point where you should stay disciplined, So again, it all comes down to having the solid balance in your life.
There's a thing I want to add on to that, because you brought it up to my mind when he mentioned losing friends, because there are people in this world that found their passion, but they're too afraid to jump into it, and they want to stick to whatever they've been doing because they're good at it, and people know them for that, and they have a friend based on that. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
And I think it sucks because they can't live the life they want to live, and you have one life to live.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Whenever you find your calling, don't be afraid to jump into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna find an obstacle with friends but everybody knows me for football, but I don't want to do football. You know what I mean?
Or that's like the thing that was going on in your family, like, oh, he was a doctor, I'm gonna have to be a doctor, and I'm gonna hate my job because I'm following this guy.
And then they're gonna be like, what, 40 years old before they actually start doing what they want to do, and it's too late.
Too late.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why not be the age of like maybe 20 and be able to start wrestling or start dancing? You know what I mean? And next thing look at Anthony, 27, he has United Dance Company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's all about jumping into things, though, especially when opportunities come up to you.
Yeah, and the opportunities, I think, they will always be there, but it's a matter if you want to do it or not. You know, like you were saying, like, 40 or like it might be too late, but again, at 40 is better than starting at 60. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, cool. Like whatever. Again, this all comes down to whatever it is you want to do. You just go out and, I was gonna cuss, but you go out and just do it. You know. I'm trying to keep off on the YouTube, trying not to cuss, but it's like just go out there and just freaking do it. Like go do it. And like the worst that will happen, like I listen to a lot of motivational speakers, but the worst that will happen is you fail. The best thing at that point is you get up and you keep going. You fell again, you get up and you keep going. So it's a non-stop, never-ending journey. And even when you're there, always bring someone up. Bring someone up there with you and encourage and inspire others. And I think your life you will find that your life will just turn into a great direction. You can help out other people, but I think motorcycle. Sorry, squirrel. No, I mean that's great. We had a couple more topics that we kind of wanted to jump on, but I definitely think we should probably end it right here.
Yeah, that's solid.
The other ones would be a little bit off topic, and
dogs.
Yeah, dogs. Dogs. Medical cards. Like again, it's a beast for a different day. But we want to thank you guys for. Actually, is there anything else you guys want to add in?
Thank you guys again. Yeah. Follow me on IG. Anthony _.
No,
Cordova.
Yeah. And then they can follow you at.
They can follow me at my main account, Marcos Like Taco, or mto.journey. That's my fitness account. And it's doing a little journey.
And as you guys know, at TrueRod_ is my IG, and I am starting to post a little bit more on my stories. So if you guys want to check that out, please make sure you do. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. There goes my phone. You hit that, you hit the thumbs up button and hit the bell for notifications if you haven't, so that way you can see the next videos when they drop. Thank you guys so much. Next video will be out next week. So hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, thank you. I obviously can't subscribe to the channel, but you can check me out at Henry Rodriguez on YouTube. Just type it in, you'll find me right there. So I appreciate you guys and all the live guys. My phone just went down, but and then the Facebook in the back, I see you. I want to appreciate it, everything you guys consistently do for us, and just watching these things. So have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
All right, see you soon.